much editorial control did you have over the film?
I get to approve every scene. So everything that they shot and everything they wanted to put in the movie, I had to approve it. So, I mean, there wasn't a lot that I gave them that I wouldn't be comfortable with, but there are certain angles and things, and I had a pimple one day and they zoomed in on it. Things like that. I mean, it's of course not every little piece of me and what I do and what I talk about and think about, but you can have a real appreciation for how solitary my life is. Aside from all the fabulous nights like tonight, I have a lot of alone time, a lot of time when I sit and I watch TV at night, and that's you can feel that kind of quiet wanting in this movie, and you can see what Johnny Weir really is. It's not this crazy person that shows up on your TV and in your newspapers. It's a real person.
There's maybe the most memorable scene in the movie with you and your best friend Paris in a bathtub, and you're pretending to be a Russian journalist. Can you just talk about that scene?
Well, the producers, Butch and Grams, James and David, they decided to put us in a bubble bath and just see what would happen. And I had a wig on. They gave me a wig and these glasses, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with this? Like, I'm just in a bubble bath. It's the only thing in the movie that's scripted, just putting us in the bath. And everything that came out of me was completely organic and natural, and I just said, well, what am I going to do? I'll interview Paris. And they always laugh at the accents I do and the funny voices that I make when I talk to Paris, and they thought it'd be funny if I was in the bath of Paris doing an interview. So I just came up with this Russian character in my head, and that's what happened.
Now I noticed that Mr. Weir doesn't speak in the film. We see him. Is he shy?
Extremely shy, and it was very hard for me to agree to be in it because we feel as though that this is Johnny's thing. It's not his family's, but everybody says, well, he is a product of his family. So I agreed because I'm obviously a little bit more outspoken than my husband, but my husband is extremely shy and he is very supportive of all of this, but he was going to come, but it was an awful lot for him. He's disabled. He's permanently disabled. He has a terrible back. So to come and make the trip up and back in one day and then sit in the theater and then come to stuff like this, he'd be exhausted. So, but he is very supportive, but yes, he is very shy.
Now, are you normally a private person or a public person? And how is the process of the cameras being on you all the time?
Well, it's weird. I'm very introverted. I have been since a child, so I have to kind of get to know people. But if a camera's there, I can just say whatever, as long as I know the people. So, but I'm a little bit shy sometimes.
Well, I thought you were one of the standouts in the film.
Thank you.
So, are you an aspiring actor, perhaps?
No, I mean, I used to when I was a child. I'd want to, but I don't know. I love being like on film. It's cool, but I don't think acting is really my suit. I'd have to have a lot of classes.
You guys are both figure
Yeah.
skaters, so what is the dynamics of that relationship?
Well, I think that we understand, like figure skaters understand each other. When I look back on some of my friends from the previous years and where I am now, and I was crazy for a while, I partied a lot, I did bad things, and now that I look back, some figure skaters that I was like crazy with and we're all calm now, I'm still friends with, but the people who weren't figure skaters, I'm still friends with some of them, but very few of them. So I think you grow up with them, and someone told me once that as a figure skater you will be friends with these people for the rest of your lives. Did not believe them, but it's really true.
Now, you're living in Wayne. You guys are...
I actually moved recently to Jersey City to be closer to my job, so I'm like right on the water. It's beautiful. I love it. Yeah.
May I ask what you do? Or
I work in property management. I have like a normal job. Yeah.
so you don't get to hang out with your best friend as much as...
I do, but not as much now that we live apart. But it's greater when we see each other. You know, you can't always live with your best friend.
Do you think it's possible to be overexposed?
If you're Britney Spears, perhaps, but I'm not going to be overexposed. There's no chance of that happening, and I'm
Say that.
well, I mean, I'm strong enough to deal with it. So even if I am overexposed, I'll never know it because I won't care.
Now, Mrs. Weir, it's his birthday coming up.
Yes.
I'll ask you, how are you going to celebrate his birthday?
Johnny's actually going to be in Toronto getting a long program for his birthday. I haven't been with Johnny for his birthday for
Years and years and years.
years and years. He's always either been away or getting programs or, I mean, I would love to go to Toronto to see him for his birthday, and I'm hoping to get him home shortly after that, but I have to wait.
Can you speak a little about your recent coaching change to David Wilson in Toronto?
I think it was a very good idea for me to work with David because we click very much and we gel very much when we're just hanging out and chit-chatting and going over ideas and talking about the times we've had in our lives. And I'm very excited to work with him because he's such a good friend and I find him very talented and very creative, and he's about just as crazy as I am. So I think it's a good match. I'm really excited.
I have a question from one of your Japanese Johnny's Angels who asked you to talk about ice jewelry.
Ice jewelry, I'm very excited to do it. It's my first show in Japan since last year, so I'm very excited to come back and perform, and I'm very excited to get my poker face on for Japan now.
The second request was, can you give a message to your Japanese Johnny's Angels right there?
ファンの皆さんの愛してます。
What did that mean?
Hi to my fans, I love you.